Hello and welcome to the Rouse Cloud Podcast. I'm Carl Rouse Sr., and this platform was created to motivate and to inspire in hopes that you will become a better you. I'd like to give a shout out for everybody out there that's supporting and listening to the Rouse Cloud Podcast. Listen, do me a favor, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we really would appreciate it. Listen, we have a very special guest with us. He's no stranger to the Rouse Cloud Podcast. We have the one and only, he's a dancer, choreographer, artist, actor. Let me tell you something. This guy can do it all. We have the one and only Mr. D Jerome in the house. How are you, D?
What's going on, family?
What's good, man?
It's good. It's good. Hey, everybody's good. The family is good.
For sure. Listen, man, I want to say this before we get started, man. I'm super proud of you, man. I see you doing your thing, and it's beautiful to watch artists evolve and become who innately they're supposed to be, and in the place that they're supposed to be in. Which I'm not surprised that you're in these spaces that you're in now.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. I welcome that with an open heart. It feels good. It feels good to see things come to fruition and see all the goodness that God has to bless on my life. So it's an amazing time right now.
Absolutely, it is, man. I want to say this would be part two. We attempted to do a video before, so now we get the opportunity to continue to build. And I like to say this is part two for us. You know what I'm saying?
But they say, I got to elevate. Hey,
yes, sir.
Elevate each time, man. Yes, sir.
Each time. So listen, we're not going to hold the folks up. We're going to go ahead and get right on into it. I know you're from Winston-Salem. And now, let's see, where you reside at now, D?
I'm in New York City now. Yeah. So on the road right now, but yes, definitely in New York.
I got you.
So, being where the art is accessible.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah. Is New York is New York everything you thought it was or what it was going to be?
It is. It's more,
Yeah.
A lot of times people are like, oh, it's so much going on in New York. And I'm like, yeah, but I was born in Winston-Salem, like you said, and I always had a passion for the arts, and wanted to be on that scene, and I wanted to be, immersed in that culture. So New York City definitely provided that for me, and so now I just feel like it's accessible, so I can go out there and pour out into it as it pours back into me.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. Listen, man. I absolutely love it. I've had the opportunity of being on stage with you, but not only that, to actually watch you work and in your craft. And, it's something when you watch a artist actually work in their craft, like, when you're a witness to what you see happening right in front of you. And you are a phenomenal singer, actor as well, but man, you're dancing, bro. I got to talk about your dancing because for those of you who have not seen Jerome dance, but I'm sure there's a few people who have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Hey, look. I don't mind. You can call me D, or D or Jerome, whichever one. But
okay.
You know how we do.
Okay, then cool. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. But brother, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, man. I knew you was official when you did that full split, my brother. I said, "Oh my God, this brother done did a full
split." Man. Hey, that comes with the with the beast of his, all in all. I don't know. I definitely the first time I was able to dance, and
sure.
I never thought I would, establish a passion like that for dance, but I knew that with music being around, dance quickly became one of my loves and one of my passions. So, he hit the split, boy.
Man, let me tell you something. You heard, I
we
think
was
you
in the
heard
church
us
too.
all.
So
yeah, we was.
We was in the church. They said, "God, Lord, that man doing a split in the church."
But I'm tell you something, man. When you did the full thing, and man, when you came down, I said, "Oh, he finna hurt him tonight."
You know, you got. I ain't got too many. I ain't got too many tricks, but I got to pull what I can out the bag. You know,
Hey,
sometimes.
listen, brother, that was an amazing moment, and then to know that your experience also supersedes, like the experience that comes along with that too. You had the opportunity of dancing at a dance studio. Can you talk about that experience for us just a little bit as we continue to build?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, just to give people a little bit of background, I started dancing in middle school. You know, at a at a public at a public school. You know, and then it
Mhm.
transitioned into a magnet school at Mineral Springs. Magnet Arts and Leadership School, where I was able to take dance classes, and my dance teacher, Noelle Grady Smith, shouting her out,
Right
she
on.
she saw my passion. She was like, "This guy he's really into dancing." So got me an audition at the School of the Arts right there in Winston-Salem. And so
Yes, sir.
when I
Great
was
school.
12, when I was 13 years old, honestly 12 and 13, I went to go do a 6-week session there, and I was able to study, basically traditional dance formats, modern jazz and hip hop and
Yeah.
all those things, and ballet as well. So when you talk about the
Hmm.
splits, I think those are some of those things that come with it. Everybody thinks, oh,
Yeah.
guys in tights and things like that, but
Yeah.
starting out at that age, taking dance seriously has opened so many doors for me. So I was able to
Sure.
start out there, and went and became a degree uh, choreographer and dancer from the UNC Greensboro. But
Mm.
one of the pivotal parts in my training definitely was working with Miss Debbie Allen, the
Yes.
Debbie Allen, and so she
The. Yes,
took.
sir.
Okay, when you know the
Yeah.
history,
Yeah.
one of the pioneers,
Yes, sir.
one of the definite pioneers here in the American jazz dance world. So working with
Yeah.
her was a transformative experience. Just her in the classroom, she's able to ignite passion in the students just by showing up. Even in her tenured season, she's showing up and still pouring that passion back into the students in the community. So uh, that was something where I knew I was like, I can grow. And if I can be in rooms like that, hopefully one day I can inspire people just as much as people like that have inspired me.
Oh man, beautiful, beautiful man. Now listen, on your journey, as you were continue to develop, continue to learn the craft of dancing, I want to go back to the split. What was the work like? What was that work like getting to that
Whew.
moment where, and the reason I want to talk about that because I think sometimes when folks see dancers, they think it's, some may not, but it's a great deal of work. It's a great deal of muscle memory and muscle training in order to do some of those things. So I guess initially what I'm trying to ask is what were the exercises that you had to do to strengthen that groin area in order to achieve that goal of a full split?
First, I want to say, uh, people get to see the cake. They don't get to see you baking the cake.
No,
They get
sir. No,
You
sir.
get to see, when it's all done and when it's time to
Hmm.
consume it. But just the process of training is gruesome.
Yeah.
If I can keep it nice, long
Please.
nights.
Yeah.
So
Whatever.
so honestly, being a male, your hips are not that open most of the time. Sometimes you
Mm,
have tighter hip flexors. That means the rotation in your hips aren't as flexible, or as
sure.
doesn't have as much range of motion as sometimes
Yes.
females do.
Sure.
So those stretches look like, some of the basic yoga movements,
Mm,
child's pose, which is where you sit all the way back on your heels and stretch your hands out in the front. That kind of loosens up the front of the hip
yeah.
flexors. And
Yeah.
then you do something like a cobra, where you extend your body up in a position where your hips are down towards the floor and you're pushing your back up. That opens the front. And then,
Yes.
even taking it in layman's terms, like crisscross applesauce, where you sit
Mm,
in that position, you sit that way and you fold your body over. That's kind of
wow.
getting your legs kind of warm. Now, some people stretch and start doing things like that without warming up. The first thing
Sure.
I would need to do, when you're talking about being being male or just having the flexibility. You have to be
Sure.
warm. So, you go do some jumping jacks, or you play basketball, or dance, just move around, kind of like social dance. You can do anything.
Yeah.
Latin
Yeah.
dance, jazz dance, African hip hop, ballet, you can do anything. And
Yeah.
then to really get those hips open, you sit down, you sit your legs out in second position, or straddle. Some people call it straddle. You sit your legs out to the side, one leg on this side, one leg on that side, and stretch forward. And that's basically how you start getting a split.
Wow.
So it's a painful journey.
Sure.
But there are benefits to it, better posture,
Yes.
less likely to get injury if you're stretching on a day-to-day basis. So this is something I
Absolutely.
promote, even if you're not a dancer. I say, hey, if you're working at a remote location, when you're working a job,
Yeah.
or you're
Yeah.
in a store, something like that, you should definitely stretch. But painful nonetheless, man. You start out with your lunges.
Yeah.
And once you do a lunge, you keep stretching until that leg gets straight. And you shouldn't force it. It should be something that gravity helps you achieve. So I've had a real combative journey with stretching. So when you talk about
Wow.
that split,
Okay.
and you probably saw some passion in that split,
Yeah. 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 Yeah,
channeling the
man.
dance gods when I was doing that. But all in all, I'm grateful
Yeah.
for what I've been able to achieve.
Absolutely, man. That's beautiful. Have you ever suffered any injuries along the way?
Oh yeah.
I heard the combative part, so I'm sure you have. But
Oh, for
I,
sure, for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Some of those
And
injuries are like, just like, sometimes
any
you
injury, I
land,
would imagine.
yeah, you'll land wrong
Yeah.
on your toe or something. Or, one time I was stretching in New York, and my dance teacher was like, yo, we got to break these hips open. And I think my leg
Ooh.
came out of place.
Whoa.
And so, but then after that, I booked, one of the jobs that catapulted my professional career. So, you got
Yeah.
to take the challenges with the triumphs.
Man, I love it, man. That's beautifully said, because that's going to help someone who's, that's a dancer, a young dancer,
Yeah.
or maybe you're a
Don't give
little
up.
older, and yeah, don't give up. You're still moving towards your goals. And as we continue to build and we speak about dancing, can you talk about the choreography, the choreographer that's in you too, as well? Can we talk about some of the things that you've done on that side of the spectrum when it comes to dancing?
Awesome, man. I enjoy choreographing.
Yeah.
Just because it allows for your voice to come out. If, everybody has something to say, and
Mm.
sometimes some people are not lyricists, some people are not writers. So
Mm.
sometimes you have to figure out how to write your story,
Mm.
and no one can teach you how to do that. Sometimes you do it. Calligraphers do it in a different way than poets will write their story, or different than the way somebody who's an architect will design and tell their story
Yeah.
that way. So for me,
Yeah.
choreographing has always been a different way to tell my story. I started
Yeah.
doing it like in my living room. I would teach my best. I think the first thing I did was I got the VICTORY. Yeah, Todd Tribbett's joint, and my best friend, I
Yeah.
choreographed something for her to do at a
Oh,
church one
wow.
time, and that was the very first
Mhm.
thing I choreographed.
Wow.
And I always knew that type of ministry, I'll use that term, was
Sure.
in me. So
Absolutely. Hmm.
dance was a vehicle, a way to tell your story. So some things I've done on that side, I've choreographed for an event that Dr. Maya Angelou was acknowledged at. So I was able to do that
Yeah.
at UNC Greensboro.
Come on,
Uh,
man.
I've choreographed for, black and gold pageants back in the day. I had a group
Yeah.
called Dialect Entertainment. Shout out DE, anybody that was a part of that.
I
They think
love it, man. I
I
love it.
probably was a little crazy to them, and I apologize.
Yeah.
But hopefully, the things that we worked on together, me and my
Yes.
peers, hopefully they've helped over the years. But it's
Yeah,
always been
man.
great choreographing. I mean, it's something about the jazz. So I was
Yeah.
able to go into further study in my college years and
Mm.
study jazz. So I choreographed a piece called Saida to
Mm.
a Coltrane piece, and
Ooh.
the name of the piece is called Saida. So if you can go find it, you can
Yeah.
hear the jazz in that, and I'll probably share a
Yeah.
clip of that as well with you, so that maybe at a later
Absolutely. Yeah,
time.
that'd be great. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
that was a
That,
really defining moment.
absolutely, man. What is your process like whenever you are like what is that moment like for you when you're actually in the moment of creating? What kind of space are you in? What do you do to get the best out of your creativity ability?
Thank you for asking that one. That actually has
Yeah,
changed over the years.
really.
In the beginning, I mean, it was like impulse. I mean, if I felt it, it happened, and
Mhm.
sometimes you
Mhm.
do so much, you just move.
Yeah.
So one of the
Yeah.
processes that I found in the past has been not so much chance, but free flow or free form. That's what we would call that.
Gotcha.
So if the
Okay.
music is on, or there's a sound, water dripping, or if there's a sound like clicking, like a clicking of a pen,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just a regular beat, like an instrumental or music,
Mhm.
like somebody
Mhm.
that has already produced something. And you hear
Mhm.
the sound and you just start moving to it. And
Yeah.
one of the ways that I found has been successful in my practice is that whatever I come back to is
Yeah.
supposed to be a part of that piece. So if I'm
Mm.
listening to something and I move, right, I'm going to do the move. So boom, I know that, and I do all of this stuff. And then if I keep doing that, if I keep
Yeah.
hitting one certain move, that
Yeah.
means that that's supposed to be a part of that work.
Got
Now,
you.
as far as sequencing, that's the next stage. So free form,
Sure.
sound meeting the movement. I figure out what comes and what keeps recurring, and then I
Sure.
identify those movements or those what I want to feel in those things, and then
Yeah.
sequencing kind of comes after that. So uh,
I got you.
that's basically my free form. It's
Yeah.
like it's off of
Yeah.
sound. I try to go off of impulse and not force it, but find things that come naturally.
Yeah. I love that, man. And I'm sure in every part of your creative being that's inside of you, I'm sure it changes from singing to it transcends from singing to acting to
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're doing. Is it the same or is it different, D?
Singing is my very first passion.
Man, yes,
So
sir.
I I I can't tell. I
I got you.
love I
Hmm.
love singing and I love dancing. So
Yeah.
we have to realize that dancing is not the same as choreographing. And
Mm.
I think that that's one of the things I want to make sure that people understand.
Yeah.
You can be an amazing dancer and not be a choreographer, or you can be an amazing
Mm.
choreographer and not be, what you think an amazing dancer
Sure.
is. Although,
Sure. Sure.
anyone can move and be a mover.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I find joy in both of those things, dancing and choreographing. But
Yeah.
um, from could you rephrase the last question you asked? Like, I'm just
I
trying to.
guess
I wanted to make sure that we keep
uh,
choreography where it is, and
sure.
then
Yeah.
dancing as a different hit as
That's
well.
pretty much what I was asking. Just kind of see like what is the creative process for you? Is it the same as singing and choreographer? Or where do you make change when it comes to your creativity? Over here, you gave us one example with choreography, even with
Mhm.
dancing. I don't know if you put that all in the same bucket
Yeah,
or in the
it's
same
around
place,
there.
similar.
Under the
And
umbrella,
then,
yes, for sure.
yeah, or is it different for singing and acting?
I,
When you're create when you're going through the process of your creativity.
for sure, for sure. I believe in my practice, singing is something that's a bit more personal.
I agree.
Uh,
I
in
agree.
terms of your
Hmm.
voice. Um,
Mm,
when you're choreographing or when you're dancing, it's something that people will see,
mm,
right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
whether if I'm dancing, it's still my vessel producing it, but it's not
Yeah.
really a sound.
Yeah.
It's visual.
Gotcha.
In terms of singing, that's a vibration that's coming from your vessel that people are
Hmm.
going to hear, and
Yeah.
then they have to feel it. So
Yes, sir.
automatically singing is a bit more personal. So the process of singing per se takes just a bit. I, in your practice you have to do the work, and I think over
Absolutely.
time, the process can be, you can make it a finite process, but things are different. So if I'm preparing to go sing at a wedding, then it's, oh, I'm gonna warm up, da 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 da. Or even before that day, you're learning the song, things like that. So there's the umbrella, choreography and dance, and there's the umbrella, singing, and I guess I would put composing, because when you start talking about singing, you got to talk about being a writer. So do you sing your original music, or do you sing someone else's music? So because if you're an artist and you sing your own music, well, no one can really tell you how to tailor that experience. But if I'm singing a song that other people know, and I have to cater the sound of what I'm going to sing that like for people. So for instance, I'll say I just sang at the Minnesota Twins home opener.
Go ahead and give us a little bit of it, all right? Not too much, but give us some, because they got to pay for the rest of it, all right? But go on and give us a little bit of it, doctor.
So they got to pay for the rest. You better tell
They got to pay for the rest, all right?
I ain't say that, y'all. Ross said that, y'all. He said that. But in preparing for that, I had to recognize who the audience was.
Absolutely.
And with all of my training and also my creative freedom that comes along with singing that I've been able to find through vocal coachings, people who have coached me, and it's my practice. I found that if I look at the audience, then I can say, okay, boom, this is who my audience is, and I can sing that. So even singing the Star Spangled Banner, you want it to be recognizable, number one. And then you want it to also have a hint of originality in there as well. You know, I believe in keeping things simple, and then you ornament in particular places where it complements you know, with the E, not I. It complements the song.
Give it to them.
And sometimes, you know, I've seen a lot of people do, you know, things to try to make it more, when in actuality, I've found simplicity to be the best. The best vehicle for me being an artist. So in that process, you know, singing, you just got to warm up. You got to take care of your voice. You got to, you know, he talked about a little bit, oh, say, if I just want to do something real simple, can you see? I want to make I wanted to make you see what I'm talking about. Even if, you know, it's a sound, like I was talking about, it's a sound that you're hearing. But can you make people believe what you're singing, you know? So you talked about what's the process, acting. I believe that they're really all connected, man. You know, my body has to move a certain way to produce a certain sound. So music, dance, and theater, in essence, have been things that I always draw from for the next practice. So I pull from one practice to improve the next.
I got you. I love it, man.
Answers a little bit.
Man, it did, man. You did a great job of explaining that. And if you would, can you give us a little flair with the vocals, if you would? Can you give us just a little something? Just a little something that we
got on there. Look, I gotta ask you. You know, I picked up some tips from you. Vocal flair. What's something? You know, because as a singer,
I know I put you on the spot.
I ain't warm or nothing, man. You know, as a singer, you find those things, and you know, you gotta find the things that work for you. You know,
absolutely.
You know, just what's something simple? Like, I don't know. Even if I wanted to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, K, you know, L, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. You know, you gotta, I'm not ready to sing, but you gotta,
yes, sir.
You know, y'all make
man, you take them to church a little bit.
You know, I love it, man. Come from there, it's gonna be inside.
It's gonna be inside you, man. So let's go ahead and keep building, man. Let's talk about your experience singing the Star Spangled Banner, man. That was a beautiful moment. You know, when I actually posted it, I was. You can ask my wife. I was at home hollering, and you know, I won't say exactly what I said, but I was excited for you. I was very, very excited for you. This is a beautiful journey to watch you continue to evolve to get to these stages. And it's a true testament when you put your trust in God, He can do anything for
man.
you. Yeah, if it's in His will for you, it's going to happen. And it's beautiful to watch. So let's talk about that moment singing the Star Spangled Banner on that stage. Beautiful moment.
Hey, thanks, man, for that. Honestly, I had no clue. The magnitude of that event. The company managers, currently I'm a part of the Hamilton, musical that's touring. So, I'm gonna make sure we understand. We'll get into talking about that.
Come on, we're gonna get into it.
We'll get into it, but we'll wait.
We're gonna get into it.
So I'm out here, and they extended an invitation and said, "Hey, we'd like for someone to sing the Star Spangled Banner." And I reached back and I said, "Yeah, sure, I would." I used to do it in high school and things like that. So I went to sing. Had no clue it was going to be on this level of this magnitude. So I went and I tried to pull on everything that I had experienced and learned before. Being out there on that field was probably one of the most memorable moments of my life. Not just because of the amount of people, but just knowing that I had prepared for something like that. A lot of people think that they can do something like that.
Yes.
And even being a professional artist, sometimes you second guess yourself. You're like, can I really do that? Can I do this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
man.
So you put yourself in a headspace of, yes, I can. I'm gonna own this moment. And I told myself, I said, I ain't gonna tell you what I said to myself, but I'm gonna say it like this. I said, D, you better go out here and sing like you ain't never gonna sing again.
Yes.
Just make yourself proud first.
That's right, man. That's right.
If I could share anything about singing or artistically expressing yourself, make yourself proud first. So, singing out there, it was amazing. It was amazing. The mics were good. They gave me an in-ear. I was like, tried it with both in-ears, and I didn't really like the way they sounded. We talking about 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm having to squelch that song out like that. Yeah.
Come on now. I know it's early.
That was a sound check. So I did that. So I realized, I was like, okay, one in-ear works better. So I'm going to use that.
Sure.
You have to gauge where to place the mic, because the mic is so hot that if you hold it here, it's going to blow the sound out. You want to be melodious. You want to create an experience as a performer. You want to create an experience for the listener and make sure that you make yourself proud and that it's something that other people can feel or connect with. And so even singing something like the Star Spangled Banner, which, as a Black male in America, we have very, very interesting connections to that anthem
True.
The National Negro Anthem. So a lot of times I'm thinking about a lot of things when I sing a song like that, and I pay tribute to my ancestors. First and foremost. So singing that was that was top tier. I was like, oh God, this how it's gonna be. They picked me up in a black car. They drove me to the arena. They got me out. They said, Jerome, sent me this way, that way, sent me to the field, came back, made sure I had food, made sure I had tea. I said, Lord, is this a you giving me a little snip? A little snippet of what it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
And so that's why I always have been. I've always been humbled by it.
That's right.
And and I'm gonna remain humble in that. But I've always been humbled by, what God can do, especially when you just surrender to His will for your life.
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful, man. I'm telling you, I was excited for you. And I think once you get to that place where you begin to celebrate for others, which is so important for us to celebrate others in their success.
Yeah, man, I'm celebrating you right now. You have no clue how excited I am. You have no clue. I'm telling you. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
God, yes, man. God is good, man. He's faithful. And so to see this, and not only that, for me, I'm going to say it, to see you come off stage and to see you walk into legendary producers, to be able to shake their hands and actually have a moment. If you would, let's talk about those legendary producers that you were able to meet and greet, and to hear them say, amazing job, great job. Talk about, if you would, can you talk about these moments? Sure, you're humbled, but again, we celebrate these small wins because when God puts you in that position, no, it's not boasting and bragging, but you're talking about what God has done for you in this position, especially when you know your own journey. And so let's talk about that moment. I can't even imagine what you were feeling, D. I can only tell you what I was feeling from the viewpoint. If I can be true, I was like, that nigga in front of.
Like I know that. I know that. I know that.
I know good and darn well that ain't who I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you would talk about that moment, man, and how precious that moment was for you.
Oh, man. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't know who they are, just go check them out.
Google
but they paved
it.
the way. They paved the way. They paved the way for, people in music. They were working with artists at the height of their careers,
Sure.
Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, many groups. I think even Prince. I think people beyond. The list goes on. But
on and on,
But
brother.
I think working with them, or not even working with them, but meeting them. And what happened was I was walking to the field, getting ready to sing, and they were in the hallway.
Yeah.
As I was headed to the field, and they were shooting a promo for something, and so I needed to walk past them. But I was freaking out behind them. I was like, is that Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis sitting right here, like in the hallway with me? I said, okay. So after that, I think I spoke to him. Good to see you guys. And then I just went ahead and went to the field and I sang. And I came back, and so of course, their manager, or their public relations rep was like right there, and I was like, I would love to meet them. And she said, okay, just give us 1 second. So they walked back out, and I shook their hand, and he was like, beautiful job. When Terry Lewis says beautiful job, you know what I mean, and embraces you, and you feel that, and then brother Jimmy Jam was the same way. It cemented something to me, and it basically let me know that you cannot conceive the things that God will have for you. And so one of the things I learned last year, or even the year before, was to embrace the things that come, but maybe don't focus so much on what you want to ask for. Because think about it, the things you would ask for, you can't think of. I couldn't think of anything more. I could not have thought for this experience or that opportunity to be on that magnitude and to run into people like that. So honestly, even from that, I think I'm gonna be a part of the documentary. I think I'm gonna be inside of it. I mean, I'm telling you, things have happened. So I probably shouldn't have said that.
No, but I got you. I got you.
But it was defining to me that his plans will God's plans will always supersede the things that you might think you want for your life. And so that moment right there, it just took me back. And not most people are about, oh, let me seize the opportunity and ask for something. No.
Nah.
I'm going to say you should do the opposite. You should build a relationship. You should build a relationship with the people. And so our skybox was right next to theirs. And
now, you know what? Let me say this to you. I like the way you calmly said, I skybox. I just want you to know that, okay? I love the way you plug
I
that,
love the
my
way you said
brother.
that right there. I like the way you said that. I like the way
Boy,
you said
I
it.
love it, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I say, God,
Mm-hmm.
this is what it is? All right then. All right then.
Beautiful,
And
man.
so
Beautiful.
part of it is
Yeah.
confidently stepping into that season, but knowing that like
Yeah.
this is nothing that I've done.
Yeah.
I know that any place, any room that I'm in, I know that I'm
Yes.
there to show people
Come on.
maybe what God's energy may be, and
Woo.
what real love and relate and compassion and
Yes.
kindness truly looks
Yes.
feels like.
Yeah,
And
man.
hopefully I can continue to represent in that way. But being right there next to them, it was like we had an opportunity to keep talking to him and just chat
Sure,
with him, and
man.
not about asking for something like, hey, I want you, hey, can you do this for me? Come on now.
Come on
You
now.
can't do people like that. What
Nah.
you should do is,
Nah.
take in the experience,
Yes.
um, you know, and build a relationship and a connection, somehow.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's not always about what you can get later. It's about
Yeah.
what can I receive right now in this moment? Is there any
Yeah.
wisdom that I can pick up just from listening to them?
Mm.
Yes, being in the space with them is amazing, but yeah, God designed this moment, so I am supposed to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I'm walking away with what I should, in terms of wisdom, in terms of
Mm.
uh, the totality of the experience, and
Yeah,
this that.
man.
Yeah, if I could leave
Absolutely,
that.
man. Yeah, I think that's beautiful because that was going to be the next question, man, for you to kind of elude a little bit more or even talk even more about, as you alluded to earlier, about relationships. I wanted you to expound a little bit more. Excuse me, that's a better word. Expound a little bit more on relationship. But I think you did a beautiful job about the importance and the value of relationships versus what can I get from you? Can
Hey,
I take this? Maybe it's just, hey man, make sure you do this. And maybe it's just like one little thing that's said that you can build upon and it can take you to the next level. So I think it's beautiful.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
just to add a small thing on the end of that,
Sure, sure.
when you're building relationships, I think it's important to learn who people are. The first thing I do when I meet people, even when we're walking into different venues, I'm
Yeah.
asking you your name.
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
name?
Yeah.
What Not just what's your name, but also
Yeah.
what do you like to be called? Like
Called, right.
what do you like for people
Yeah.
to call you?
Yeah.
Because so many times people think that your name is just, some people ask you like, hey, what's your name? Da 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 da, and then they don't remember it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I
Yeah.
will
I got
admit
you.
sometimes it takes, two times,
Sure it does.
but do the
Yeah.
work. Do the work,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
later on down the line, if I see somebody and I can remember their name, to me that makes me feel like if somebody meets me and they can remember my name, even if we
Yeah.
haven't had that many encounters, I think
Sure.
it means that you have somehow made an impact.
Yeah, man.
If that impact is just them feeling seen or me feeling seen,
Yeah.
that's more than enough. A lot
Yes,
of
sir.
times, I'm not gonna talk about, I'm gonna stay focused with it.
I
But
got you. I got you.
sometimes
Hmm.
if people can just start with seeing
Yeah.
people and acknowledging people and saying, hey, what's your name? And making sure that you know that, you can automatically establish that this is who this is, and I am, and this is how we build a connection. This is where you start.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be more than me saying, hey, I see you, hey, I see you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that's an acknowledgement thing, and I think that can go a long way
Yeah.
across any culture. So
Yes,
uh,
sir.
that's the start of building relationships. Just make sure you know the people who you're working with, know their name,
Yeah.
and that's it. If you don't know nothing else, at least you know their name, and
That's right.
you've had at least one encounter to connect and build a relationship.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man, we've talked about dancing, we've talked about singing. Now let's talk about acting. And again, I've had the wonderful opportunity of sharing the stage with you. but it's beautiful to see you transcend to
God is
this
good,
place that you're, man, God is good, you know, and to see you on this, you know, in this play that, wow, that's all really I can say. So if you would, can we talk about your journey to being a part of the Hamilton brand, if you would,
Yes,
you know?
indeed. Yes, indeed. You know, it's a brand.
It's a brand, bro, you
Yeah.
know, and to find yourself in that position, what was that like for you as we go into the acting portion of your life?
Nice. I'll definitely try to keep it concise.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fine.
such a journey, man.
Yeah,
You gonna tear me up with this one. I think
I know.
my
I
journey
get
has
tore
been,
up
it's totally not
thinking
linear. You
about it.
know, it is not
Yeah,
linear. You are not gonna go straight
yeah,
into the promise that's designed for your life.
that's right. That's
Your
right.
life is, you know, it is designed for you to have detours or, you know, roadblocks or speed bumps
Come
to
on, man.
allow you to experience things so that you can
Phew.
gain wisdom from them
Mm,
to get where you are. So I'm gonna
yeah,
work
yeah.
backwards. I'm gonna say
Go right ahead.
that being here right now makes sense to me because
Mm,
I had to go through a lot of things before getting
sure,
here. And had I
sure.
gotten here too soon, I don't believe that I would have known how to manage. Um,
I love it.
if I can speak to people who may not be believers or things like that.
Correct. I
I
know what you
think
mean.
at
Hmm.
this place in my life, I'm able to manage um, what the universe has allowed, you know, what or
Yeah,
what
yeah,
has
yeah,
come to be.
man.
What, you know, some people
Hmm.
believe fate, some people believe those things. I would not have been prepared for it, and uh,
Sure.
so that's what I'll say. So working backwards, I started acting in middle school,
Yeah,
and I want to preface this by saying I am still a learning actor. I think you never
I love it.
stop.
No, you
Um,
don't.
I do
Hmm.
believe that singing and dancing are things that come a little bit more naturally to me. And
Yeah,
so, in terms of being an actor or working as an actor, I I love to be a sponge, and
yeah.
this is where I'm going to commend you and talk
Uh,
about the relationship we built on
oh,
set
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah,
on
yeah,
set from
yeah,
the time we started to the time our run had
yeah,
finished. I
yeah.
think, you know, if you're gonna be a great actor, yes, you have to do your work and, you know,
Absolutely, you do.
train and
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
you know, put the time in, put the work in, make sure you know your material and know where,
yeah,
you
man.
know, do your character development and things like that.
That's right.
But I think what we don't think about a lot of times is that everybody in the room is coming from a different
Mm,
space or has a different set of tools.
yeah,
And
yeah,
what we should focus on is not glorifying our tools, the things that's in my belt, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
yeah.
know, I come from being typecast as the goofy guy. You know, sometimes I can be
Okay.
really goofy, or I can be the guy that's like innocent or jovial. Sometimes, and that's kind
Yeah,
of what I can be
yeah,
cast as. But
yeah, yeah.
I've always been like, man, I just want somebody to take me serious, man. And
You
you know
know,
what? And I don't think it's come just yet. I don't think that moment in my
I
life
see
has
what you're
come
saying.
for me to have
Mm-hmm.
that opportunity, and it hasn't come
Mm-hmm.
yet because
Yeah.
I'm still refining my tools, and I'm finding,
I love it.
and I'm looking at what somebody else is doing. You know, I had an
Yeah.
opportunity to go see someone perform in the mountaintop, and that was one of the moments I was like, dang, I'm in a master class. When I go see shows, I'm
Yeah.
witnessing master classes. The girl, you know,
That's right.
I did The Color Purple, a show that changed my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
My Celie was so phenomenal. Felicia Curry, she was so
Mm.
phenomenal. I said, I'm at the Curry University. You know what I'm saying? Like when I
Yes,
work with
sir.
actors, so trying to reel it back in that experience in that journey,
Sure.
when I'm
Yeah.
working with actors, I'm learning.
Yeah.
So yes, I can say I'm an actor and I'm learning how to
That's right.
own that.
Yes.
And I believe every day that I work as an actor, I'm getting better
Mm.
and I'm getting closer to,
Yes.
you know, to being able to manage and utilize the tools that I'm gathering as I
Mm-hmm.
experience with so many different people. So Ross, thank you. I'm serious. You
Oh
showed up on
man.
set as Pops,
Oh man.
and
Thank you,
it was a
man.
story that had so much space. And
Yeah, it
we
did.
were able to explore those
Yeah, we
spaces,
were.
even in
Yeah.
things that may have never been said, even on stage.
Yeah.
We were able
Yeah.
to convey those ideas to a
True.
misplaced son, without a
Oh
mother,
yeah.
who has a
Yeah.
father that he feels like doesn't understand him,
Yeah.
and he's at a pivotal moment in his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's booked a big show, and his father
Yeah.
doesn't understand, and
Yeah.
first of all, Black culture really sometimes doesn't understand
Yeah.
the journey that artists take, because it is not
No, I don't.
it's
It's
not
not.
straight to the goal. Sometimes you have
No,
to
it's
do more
not.
things.
It's a journey.
So being there with you, man, I was able to learn and absorb so much from you. I was like, I cannot believe this is this man's first show. Somebody lying. Y'all
It
tell me
was.
where Ross
It's
came
my
from.
first show. My
But
first show, man.
but it inspired me so much to go back to say, okay, cool. How can I continue to do the work so that I can bring the characters to life,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
know that a part of me is in one of those characters?
Yeah.
Maybe,
Man.
and I don't have
Yeah.
to be it, but I need
Yeah.
to live it so that I
You
can
need
make
to
it
live it.
real for
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah. So that's what I think
Absolutely.
about my experience. It's getting me to the next moment. I'm gonna pick these tools up and take it as I keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a beautiful moment. Those were beautiful moments. I felt like doing that season that we were acting with the play. It was a beautiful moment. But I'm so excited to see. I'm not really surprised,
Mm,
D, that you're in this position that you're in, because the same way you're referencing to me, I felt the same way because you know
thank you, man.
yeah, man, you're welcome. I'm the same way because I'm not trained. So whenever I'm able to hit the stage with people who've gone to school and have perfected their craft and know the craft and know what you need to do, this is beautiful to work with other artists. I'll just say that. Now enough about me and this. We want to make this thing about you because this has just been just amazing to watch this journey, to see you become, man, and peak like this, and working with a cast like this amazing cast that you work with. Uh, what were some of the things? What were some of the challenges that you had to face yourself with working with a cast like this, man? I know of your improv work. I know what you can do. I know your ability to rap. I know your ability to sing, dance, all of these things. It's perfect for you as an artist. But I want to say, what has this been like? What kind of challenges did you face with working with these actors and uh, getting the script, doing the reads? What were some of the things that you had to overcome to get even more comfortable in this position that you're in?
Yeah, man. Self doubt. You have to get
And
over.
you alluded to that earlier. So
Yeah,
you did allude to that earlier.
yeah.
So you might
You
have already answered it.
you have to. Oh, no, that's a beautiful question, man.
Okay.
You have to get over that imposter syndrome. That's what it's, the clinical
Yes,
term for it
sir.
nowadays.
That's right.
You have to get over it. You have to
Yeah.
get over the doubt. Ann Nesby, who I met back in the day working with the production company that we met on. I said,
Yeah.
I was able to talk to her recently, and she said, you doubt is fear.
Yeah.
Doubt is
Yeah.
fear. And
Yeah.
if you leave the door cracked, it will it will come in. It will come in.
Mm.
So
Mm.
she said, you have to shut the door and lock it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut the
Yeah.
door on fear. Shut the door on doubt. Um, and you'll never you will be enlightened to the possibilities if you just
Mm.
eliminate the doubt and the fear, no matter what it is. If it's something that you haven't done before, if it's something that you have been doing and you should feel more experienced about, it doesn't matter where you are in you know, the journey of whatever you're working on. Fear and doubt can exist anywhere.
That's right.
But if if you're able to eliminate that factor, I think that is when you open the door for God to really to do the impossible in your mind. And it wasn't until I said, I'm not going to be afraid. You know, fear and doubt are just the same thing.
Yes, sir.
You know,
they go
so
the same way.
If I was able to leave that outside, that would be amazing. So speaking to working with these actors, I had to embrace my experiences. I had to embrace things that I felt like I didn't know. I had to utilize my strengths. I had to acknowledge my challenges and use them as part of my skill set.
Yes, sir.
If I feel like I'm a weaker, and this is a true story, if I feel like I may be a weaker or maybe not weaker, I don't want to use that term. If I feel that there are some things that I haven't been able to manipulate just yet as an actor, I will draw from one of the other places, or like I said, I will look at who I'm working with, and that's what I want to talk about. These actors are so talented. These artists are so incredibly talented. I'm amazed.
Man.
Every day I go to work, you know, they're wearing so many different hats. They are, some of them are doing multiple characters in a week. You have, because you have the actors who are on stage, but what people don't understand is that there are people who are off stage, considered swings, understudies, and standbys. And a lot of times those are superhumans to me. I consider them superhuman because many of them are covering not just one role, but they're covering multiple roles. And in a show like Hamilton, if you know it, then you know that it's an intense body of work.
Yes,
and
it is.
You know it. It's something that's amazing to see how these artists show up to work and they're doing it. It's a testament to what it means to do the work at home. And what it means to do the work as you're growing and learning through your experience, so that when you have an opportunity like this, you can show up. So me being among those artists, I have to appreciate and I have to wear the fact that I did the work at some point.
That's right.
And I'm still doing it. I've done the training. I've done the intense work where it's like I've been hard on myself, and then nowadays it's like, okay, D, you know, lighten up on yourself, but you can also understand that being hard on yourself has gotten you there. So I've had to overcome the fear. I've had to show up and see the artist, and I've had to acknowledge that I did have what it takes. I had what it takes, and I still have it. And although I'm not where I want to be, I can appreciate the work I've put in, and pat myself on the back and say, hey, you deserve to be in this room with them.
Absolutely, man. Beautifully said, man. And so listen, you know, D, this has just been a awesome conversation with you. Man. I'm sure there's so much more that we could talk about.
You know how it goes.
I know it, man. We have a very limited of time that we can hold you on here because you're a busy man, but
hey man, if you gotta trim it up, I understand. If you gotta trim it up, because we're not trimming this up. I know we can go all day, but
I'm not trimming this up. We're gonna keep every bit of this conversation put together. And but listen, in closing, man, if you could say something to somebody to encourage them to not quit on them dreams, don't quit on themselves, don't quit on what it is that you want to do. And then in closing, can you tell the folks how they can get in contact with you? And also when the next time, you know, where you're going to be, the next city you'll be in, if they would like to come see the show Hamilton.
Hey, appreciate that, man. Hey, first I'm welcome. Shouting out the Ross Cloud podcast.
Thank you, brother.
You know, this is an opportunity that I don't take lightly. And you know, we wanted to get it right. I wanted to get it
Yeah, we
right,
did.
like my man over there doing the thing. So shout out to you guys doing big things.
Thank you.
And I would just say one thing I live by is, you know, I'm gonna always attach myself to progress. You know, I think that's
Yeah.
I want to leave it as simple as that. I'm gonna attach myself to
Yeah.
progress. I'm going to relieve myself of expectation and traditionalistic thinking,
Yeah.
and I'm going to focus on progress, whatever that is. And
Yeah.
I want to be clear in my mind about, you know, what I want, and I'm gonna go get it. You know,
Yeah.
growth
Yeah.
mindset, progress. That's the best mind. That's all I can. That's all I could offer.
Yeah.
And I don't
That's
want people.
beautiful.
Yeah, I don't want people to think that it's, you know, something spooky or anything. Nah,
No,
nah,
it's that simple.
nah, nah.
Yeah.
Believe that God is inside you, and that, you know, that's
Yeah.
love. That's showing kindness, showing love, showing humility,
Yes.
and don't be afraid. Just don't. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that growth
Yeah.
mindset. You know, don't be afraid. Do not be
Yes.
afraid, because that is the only thing keeping you from where you want to be.
Man, I love it. I love it, man. So how can the folks get in contact with you? And can you
Hey,
tell the folks what the next city you'll
the
be
next
in?
city. Oh, swear, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you can check me out on Instagram at d.jerome underscore. And you can contact me, D Jerome Wells at Gmail. Yep, the website is coming soon. I'm doing some manufacturing to that. So you
Okay,
can find
gotcha.
me, just, you know, hit my email. Shoot, you can shoot me something on Instagram. Instagram has become
Yeah.
such a business that,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
it's
Yes, sir.
primarily a business account. So please feel free to reach out there.
Yeah.
djeromewells at gmail.com. And the next city you'll be able to see us in is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Right now
All right.
we're in Minneapolis. So we're in
Okay.
Minneapolis through May 8th. And we'll
Okay.
be headed to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So,
Yeah.
you know, you can find us there. Those tickets, you know what I'm saying? Hit us up. We can work something out. You know what I'm saying? Well, you might not have to put too much down on the ticket. You're gonna put something on that ticket, because we don't even get free tickets, if you know what I mean.
I
So
do. I do. Yes,
yeah,
sir. I do.
yeah, we'll be in New Mexico. So yeah, can't wait to see everybody. We're closing out in Puerto Rico. So if you can pull up,
Oh man,
you want to have a little getaway, a romantic getaway
I
with
love
your
it.
babe, you come on out to Puerto Rico, and we'll be closing up
Yes.
there June 13th through the 25th. So yes, sir.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Hey,
Listen, Jerome, again, man,
cheers,
we're going to
bro.
give you your flowers. We know everybody is using that now, but want to definitely give you your flowers now, man, and say from the Ross Cloud podcast, we're super, super proud of you. And we look forward to seeing what's next for you as we continue to build on this relationship, man. I want to say thank you again for coming on to the Ross Cloud podcast.
Thank you, my brother.
Hey,
Blessings.
man, you're absolutely welcome. Listen, this is the Ross Cloud podcast. I'm Carl Ross Sr. Make it a great day and keep being great. Peace.